In addition to the core products in Microsoft Office, there are other members of the Office family like Visio, and I'd like to briefly tell you how Visio integrates with SharePoint. First, I can publish a Visio diagram as a web page and then link to that web page. I can save it in my Pages collection and create a link to it. This is a wonderful way to publish a Visio diagram. Imagine that you have a huge organizational chart. And when you're viewing that in Visio, you can pan, you can zoom in and out, you can look at the properties of the different shapes. But every person who does that needs Visio. If you publish this Visio diagram as a web page, then you have control over what navigation controls are available, the level of property information that's available about the shapes. You can create a really nice presentation. And this is simply saving it as a web page and then creating a link to that web page somewhere else in your SharePoint site. A tighter integration is the ability to use Visio web parts to display diagrams of data that exists in SharePoint lists. This capability is well beyond the scope of this particular course, but Visio can consume external data. So you have the ability to use one of the SharePoint web parts, called the Visio web part, to connect to data that's in a SharePoint list. Imagine that you're uploading or entering sales data or order information, new member information, and then to create diagrams based on that information. Very slick. You have two tools that you can use to create customized workflows in SharePoint. One tool is Visio, and while I wouldn't say it's intuitive, if you're a Visio user or if you're a business analyst using Visio to create diagrams to describe workflows in your organization, it's kind of an instant win because the same types of diagrams that you can create for users can then be used to create workflows in SharePoint. By the way, the other tool that's available is called SharePoint Designer, and you'll be seeing that tool later in the course. Finally, our last win is simply saving Visio files in a document library, and you might think, well, why is that a win? Unlike Access, where I needed to have either the Access database engine or Access itself to be able to work with a database stored in a library, with Visio, I have a brand new, exciting Visio viewer that's available for free from Microsoft. So if I am saving Visio diagrams and I want other people to be able to view them, not to edit them, but simply to view them, and I don't want to have to purchase Visio licenses for all of them because they don't need to edit, there's this place for a viewer, which is great. We've been waiting for this for a long, long time. You can download that free Visio viewer using this bit.ly link. Remember that because it's bit.ly, it's case sensitive. And this Visio viewer will work to view any Visio diagram in a browser. Those are our integration points between Visio and SharePoint.